Two siblings reflect on a difficult childhood that had more questions than answers.
I remember I used to isolate myself a lot, asking myself, how come?
I've never been beaten in my life. Even my mom had never laid hands on me because she was absent. She didn't care what we are doing.
Separated at a tender age, life takes its course, and with it comes pain and sorrow.
The reality was too harsh for me, especially the rejection. Really was hard on me. And yeah, I could not stay sober.
For Rachel, this is a story of resilience and finding redemption after living a treacherous life.
God wanted me to be seen the way I was, because I remember I was shaky inside, like I'm so messed up with alcohol.
She was prayed for and she gave her life to Christ. And when we were going back home from church, she told me, "Sis, mi sitakunywa tena, sikunywi." And I looked at her, okay.
To tell Rachel's story, we made our way through the Tika Superhighway, drove past rice fields and Muya, all the way to the quiet town of Chuka.
Growing up, I don't remember much of my childhood, but I found myself growing up in a system, a children's home as a little girl till the age of about 10 years old is when I began asking myself questions. How come I'm in this place, and where is my mom and my brother and my sister? Because I remember I had two younger siblings, being the oldest. I even stretched to go to the offices to ask the management, I really want to go home. I want to go see my sister and brother. And that was organized, and there came a holiday where we went to look for my mother, our home, and my siblings. And unfortunately, our home wasn't there. And my mother wasn't there still. And so it was a very disturbing moment for me and also for the management. But asking around the neighbors, they told us that our mom is no longer there, is no longer living there.
For her sister, the reality wasn't any different as she looks back to the day they were separated.
My name is Virginia Wangeshi Muthoni. I'm Murioki. I am married. Yeah, and I'm the sister to Rachel. I'm the youngest in the family. She was taken when I was still very, very, very young. Yeah, so I don't remember her, but I remember my brother, because now after Rachel was taken, we remained with my brother, and now we were staying there. We had a home, yeah, but the mom was absent, and I've never heard anything about our dad. So as we were staying there, there was no food and everything, and so as we started growing up with my brother, we started going out to look for food for ourselves. And yeah, now we used to rely on those people that give food to street people. And they would come maybe once a month. And the rest of the time we just loiter around streets begging for food.
Rachel's life continued at home while her sisters and brother tried to find ways to survive.
We were Catholics, where we attend Mass every day, morning and evening. And so, yeah, we would sing, the education there, the food was okay, everything was good, apart from I had disturbing questions. I remember I used to isolate myself a lot, asking myself, how come? I didn't understand much of God, but I knew it is a routine to go to church, to say the masses, and all that.
One day, around Soweto, we found a family. We knocked at a door and we asked for food as our usual custom. And these people became more interested with not just giving us food, but also like knowing why are we begging for food. So we started telling the story. Our mom is not around, we can't find any food and everything, and they gave us food. It was ugali with milk. So we ate and they told us, stay here, we have to inform the chief. So the chief was called, was informed everything, and now then we were now taken to another rescue center. I was very young, so when we went there, the place was very beautiful. Everything was catered for. Like we were given a bath and new clothes, shoes and everything, and it was so spacious. I remember the picture I have for that place. It was so good.
This was to be a new beginning for the two siblings, but the next day was a different reality.
It was a big kitchen and the chefs were wearing good clothes, and now I was just looking, admiring the food, and I was caught. Like we were with another guy, a small guy who we had been rescued the same day. So we were caught like looking at the food and admiring it. And I tell you, I was beaten. So that it was a lady, akatutandika vibaya sana. Akasema mbona mnatemea chakula mate? Nini. So I felt, I've never been beaten in my life. Even my mom had never laid hands on me because she was absent. She didn't care what we are doing. Yeah, so I felt, this is too much. I told them, no, take me back home. I want to go back home. I have a home. So they told me, okay, that's what you want. We'll take you back home. So that same day, they took me to a red car, and then we went.
For Rachel, she remembers interactions with her mom, but they were rather unsettling.
I was so excited and happy, and she looked really, really good. But the picture I remembered of her was a drunkard. My mom was a drunkard, a heavy drunkard. She was mostly bitter and violent. I saw her on and on again. But now after that day, the time she came back drunk and noisy and, causing chaos and drama. And all I did, I think it triggered the past. I remembered how she was in the past. And I remember me hiding, running to the dormitories and hide under the bed, thinking she'll come after me. So it was really ugly. On and on later, she could come. I could hear her around the streets, in the community. Kids could come tell me, your mom is so drunk, she's shouting, Nini. And so I hated seeing her.
As Rachel got the opportunity to go to high school, her siblings were on the move again.
Joining high school, by the grace of God, I found sponsors who would pay for my school fees.
I was 5, he was 7. And he couldn't stay at a place where he was caged in. Now that I remembered, that I am reflecting nowadays, because he was like bigger than me and he was used to street life more than me. And he was like, he couldn't stay where he's been told, do this, do that, so he ran away. So at that time, we lost contact with him. He ran away and I was informed, your brother has just run away. And I was like, okay. Like I didn't even care because now we were with the other people. So for me, I was like, no worries. I knew they would find him, but they never found him. Until I stayed for those 2.5 years. And then I was now transferred with other kids. We were transferred to now from Nairobi Adams to Kajiado, Ngong. So I was told, we're taking you to a place where you're going to be going to school, because we were there but we are not going to school.
While in high school, Rachel would later be dismissed, and the home had no other way of helping her.
There appeared an incident in school where there was a strike and the school burnt. And after the school burnt, there was a search going on for investigations why the school burnt, and it happened that we were found with matchboxes and packets of cigarettes. And so we were suspects of burning the school. And so we were suspected, and also the suspicion was smoking cigarettes, possession of matchboxes in school was put in there as a record of the suspension. And so we were suspended from school. Yeah, and that's how I happened to have lost my sponsorship with school. The home called my mother, asked my mom, your daughter tumeshindwa na yeye, itabidi sasa uende na yeye. And I remember with my mom, now we are relating with my mom for the first time, and she's not judging, she's just there listening to the story. And one thing I liked about her, she did not judge or condemn me. She just told me, don't worry, they might call you in back, they might call you back, so don't you worry. But I remember the way they prayed for me, they even, laid hands on me and prayed and condemned every spirit that was disturbing me then, but they let me go.
Together with her mom, they went to Nakuru, but there was no help in sight. Rachel reached out to a former schoolmate who had been suspended as well.
She told me that for her parents got her a home school where she can continue with her education. But for me, we are different, and so I knew mine is gone and gone. So I was so stressed. I didn't like the situation. I was so stressed. I was in regretting. Why did I even involve myself in the first place with such things? I wish I knew. So much regret. But yeah, it was that way. And so my friend, as she goes to school, this homeschool, I go with her, but I don't get to go to class. So we could wait for her outside. She finishes for the day, we go together. And all we could do is just party life. Continued with smoking. Now I was introduced to drinking properly, and we could drink and party, drink. Sleeping, where am I sleeping then? She introduced me to a male friend, and this male friend said will stay with me for as much as he can support. But again, yeah, we won't stay with me and you're doing nothing, and then I'm feeding you for free. So he tried touching me several times, but I could not let him, because now I know if he touches me, he won't help me, like itaisha, msaada itaisha. And so it happened, iliisha. People get tired. After iliisha, now my routine was, we go party, we go drink. Wherever we drink is where we're going to sleep.
At this point, we became curious as to what really drew Rachel to this lifestyle.
The reality was too harsh for me, especially the rejection. Really was hard on me. And yeah, I could not stay sober. If I'm not drunk, let's go smoke weed. If not weed, ever on cigarettes. And yeah, I think psychologically I was messed up. And even you find sleeping around with men was also a way of seeking acceptance, because I now believed that if I sleep with you and how you hold me, I somehow feel like I'm accepted and I feel somehow loved. And I remember I could also like ukinionyesha mapenzi kidogo hivi naingia tu box, because it's something I'd never gotten, and I think I was psychologically messed up. So that was it. Again, from the realization that, being held and someone sleeping with me is actually not love. Again, they do this and they just let you go. Now I started understanding, I'm being used. It's like now people are taking advantage of me. And it went on and on, understanding I'm being taken advantage of, to a point of now hating myself and thinking, I think I am a mess. I'm a mess.
In no time, Rachel found out she was pregnant.
I stopped hanging out with my age mates now because I thought they're not helping me now. I need help. Somehow I felt like I really need help to be stable, but I didn't know the kind of help I needed. I also didn't understand how I can be helped. And so I thought now hanging out with bit older people would actually help. There'll be more understanding. And so I remember meeting a guy and I spoke to him and he tells me, yo, okay, I'm also trying to, stabilize my life. Maybe you can come live with me for a moment as we figure out what you can do. And so we stayed with him for like a week. He was planning to do something, a small business. And before I realized, the business is not coming through, but before I realized I'm pregnant with his child. And I told him I'm pregnant, and he's like, okay, you don't worry. Don't worry. But in my head, I don't think I'm ready for marriage sort of thing. All I want is to be stable, and I need somewhere to start from.
Find hope and inspiration on the go through our life-changing shows on the Family Media app. Stream Family TV and Family Radio straight from your mobile phone at your own convenience. Catch up on a show you missed or create video streaming playlists by saving and watching videos from our huge variety of shows. Download the Family Media app today. Available for all Android and iOS users on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. The father to the child was okay to take them, but with the disagreement, she was kicked out.
I don't know what happened with the hormones shift. I became more and more depressed because of the pregnancy. And I even projected, like, I could see other men who used me. I could see this guy as through the lens of other men, and I began feeling hatred towards him, and we could not stay in the same room. And he ended up kicking me out. So in the streets, the pregnancy. Yeah, same life, same more. I could drink, smoke, stay in bars, sleep around. Yeah, how I used to eat, I don't know. How I managed, I don't understand. Sometimes I think it's grace. It's the grace of God. I knew there's someone up there. God is watching everything. I could pray, but I felt so far away. But I know there was something, there was a force of God protecting me and the baby.
While in the streets, she survived through handouts. And when she was close to delivery, she reached out to the father.
He came through the day of delivery, and we delivered at the hospital, Mbagathi Hospital. Yeah. The baby came, a baby boy, a very clean baby. I remember I was so stressed. Maybe I'll give birth to something that is not there, because I hear stories of drug addicts, how they deliver their babies. Some die, some come out addicted, but my child was healthy. The weight was okay. I remember the doctors telling me, you delivered such a clean baby. And I was like, what, how? I was not eating well. I was barely, sleeping. And the guy saw the baby and we went to his parents' house. Yeah, now the grandmother to the baby. And she took me in.
Rachel didn't stay with them for long, and where she ran to was not a safe space either. she was now going to lose her baby.
I remember with my child in the room, after they told me to go pack and prepare everything for the child, I remember looking at my baby, and it was a very heavy feeling, a very heavy emotion. I felt worthless. I felt like a loser, and I'm crying, and I feel like I think, no, I can't lose like this. I remember telling myself, no, this can't be the end. I can't lose like this. And then thoughts of running away were kicking in my head, like, take the baby and run. But again, I felt like, no, I also need help. And it seemed these people are tired with me. I remember the sister came into the room, the sister to one of the family member, I think the sister to the father to my child, and told me, please, Rachel, understand that we are not taking the baby away from you. The baby belongs to both of us. And so we are not like taking away the baby. We just want to help you. I remember her trying to make sense, and I felt somehow soothed, and I let go. Actually, the day my child left is the day I think I was called by the job and they told me, yo, are you available tomorrow? Come clean.
As she worked, Rachel met another guy whom she thought would make things better for her.
Amekuja kama customer, and I think he looks good, and then I overheard from my boss that this guy is from abroad and they are well off. And so I set my eyes there, and I'm like, okay. And then I remember I had some Rasta kind of hair, and also him had Rasta, and so I was like, even a better point, like I see a point where I can try connect. So I set my eyes. In short, I fetched, and so I'm like, who knows, maybe. And I felt somehow drawn to him, and we talked. And what attracted him to me is the fact that I was smoking, and also him was smoking. And so as we are smoking, we got to talk. And this guy was like, hey, you should not worry. Don't worry. Rasta people don't stress up. Don't stress. And that's how we hooked up, and we exchanged numbers, and then he left.
Shortly after, the guy came back and convinced her to go home together. But as they lived together, she was exposed to a new reality.
I saw even a difference with the family members, how they treat the person when he has money and when he doesn't have money. And it happened that they could not also stand me because I didn't fall into their plans of medicating this guy, because with medication, he would silence up, still up. But because I did not fall into their, they also could not stand me. And they thought maybe I'm also making his case worse. And there's a night they called police for us. And I remember the guy hiding me, told me to hide. And they called the police and they took him, but they found me where I was hiding. So yeah, we were asked to get out of the house. And the reason as to why they were arresting us is that the guy has to be rehabilitated, because now he'd changed. He'd gotten to, some state that wasn't controllable. And for my case, I don't know why they wanted to arrest me. I didn't understand, because they didn't manage to, since I escaped. Yeah, I just escaped and went to the streets. I stayed in the streets with the pregnancy, just like, remember the first one? It's the same thing. It was the same.
Meanwhile, for Virginia, she had grown and was now keen on finding her sister.
I was admitted at Chuka University, so I got an opportunity even to have my own phone. So I started looking for her in the social media, Facebook, Instagram. So nikaangalia Facebook, nikaona simpati, nikampata Instagram. So I looked at her photos and I saw photos of her using drugs. So I knew now she's using drugs, but still nilikuwa najua kama mtu anaweza nunua shisha akona pesa, so I knew she's good. Because I see photos of her taking shisha, in Apple IG. So when I was now in first year, second year, I got introduced to my church, now the church that I am in, Grace Chapel International, and I started talking about my life with the pastors and even my friends in church, and they're asking me, what about your sister? And I'm looking at the photos and I'm telling them, this is my sister. Now I can see the resemblance, and they can also see the resemblance. They are sure that it's my sister. So I was like, I really want to meet her. And they're telling me, you don't have her contact? Uko atungepewa contact, atungetumia simu. So venye nimepata simu, siwezi jua place yako, but najua kwa Lang'ata.
Rachel would later give birth and at one point was arrested with the charge of potentially wanting to harm her child. As she served her 1-year probation sentence, she was found in violation.
I remember the police banging the door, broke the door, and took the baby. And they took me away. Back where? To the jail. And so I was jailed. The following day we went back to the courts and found a different magistrate. Even her energy was different. She didn't even listen to me. She read the file and asked me, wewe, uski ni madrinks na mayeng tu? Acha huyo ende rest Lang'ata. That's what she said. She didn't even talk to me or want to listen to me. So went back. Now I was jailed now. All I could do is read. I loved going to the library, read self-help books. I could go through the Bible, the Word. I could go to, there was an SDA church in there, and there was also Catholic. So there were 2 churches, and I could attend both of them because I started feeling like I really need to relate with God, and we were relating very well. I'm grounded, remember. I'm being sober, trying to be sober, system cleaning, we're doing cleaning there. And so I got used to in the 8 months, but all was bringing me peace then. It is God. I could pray and pray a lot. I remember praying for the father to my daughter, praying that God may heal him because I was so affected with the fact that he's not mentally okay. And even the things he said at the court and everything, even me to end up here, it is because of his state of mind. Because there was nothing, I didn't want to harm my child. I did not. We were both messed up. And so I remember praying for him to get well, get healed, so maybe we might get back and, start a life.
After 8 months in prison, Rachel was released and an attempt to reunite with her child was denied.
First thing, I went to the club. Kagonga moja mbili, and then the way I used to, it's like everybody heard I was prisoned, everyone. And so all they want to do is buy me, buy you, celebrate. Drunkards are generous, again I say. So they buy me 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I got the confidence to go face the family. So I went. They came and told me, it's like they can't allow me see the baby. Imagine, they can't allow me see the baby. And I left and went to drink properly now. I drank and I remember coming back high and chaotic that night. I'm screaming and telling them, oh, you're stealing from me. Why are you taking my child from me? I was so chaotic, very chaotic, to a point of being kicked out by security.
Hopeless and confused, Rachel decided to try and find her sister.
I called the lady, the director of their home, and she told me, your sister is in campus. She's done with campus. She's done. And she's in Chuka, Meru. She actually said Meru. She's in Meru. I don't know what she does with her life, but all I know, she's done with school. And so I was like, wow, she's done with school.
Shortly before I graduated, one of the staff members in Shelter Children's Home called me and told me, your sister has been looking for you. And I'm like, hey, I have given she asked me, should I give her your number? And I told her, yes, definitely give her. And then my sister was given my contact, and then she called me immediately. So we talked, and I was so excited and everything. And after we talked, she mentioned that she's not okay. Nikamwambia, kwani nini imehappen? Sisi usijali, tukipatana nitakushow. Nikasema basi we kuja Chuka.
Rachel getting to Chuka was not easy, but she eventually made it.
Today how I think is maybe God wanted me to be seen the way I was. So I understand it that way. And I came as I was. And she saw my state and she just embraced me as I was. And today I think God gave her the grace for me. Though I never met sober people who would take me as I am. And so God gave her the grace for me. She introduced me to her pastor. She actually encouraged me that I think even my pastor wants to see you, because she's very active in church as a Sunday school teacher. Sometimes she's in praise and worship team, music team. And so she's well known in church, so active. And I told her, how can I even meet these people with my state? Because I remember I was shaky inside, like I'm so messed up with alcohol. And she told me, it's okay. I tell her, now I need to stay sober, so I'm not even sleeping. I can't sleep because I was used to sleeping drunk. And I told her I can't even go face these pastors like this. So she told me, okay, you try and sleep. We'll go when you feel better.
In no time, Rachel changed her mind, and this became the turning point in her journey. Suddenly, it was like a weight had been lifted off.
Nikiwa najiprepare, suddenly she just told me, sis, twende to church. Twende. Hey, I was impressed. So we went to church, and then she was prayed for, and she gave her life to Christ. And when we were going back home from church, she told me, sis, mi sitakunywa tena. Sikunywi. And I looked at her, okay.
It's a miracle how the thirst was taken away from me. The drinking, the smoking, it's a miracle, because I did not touch a cigarette. I did not even feel like I should go for it. I didn't, even the first week after surrendering my life, I did not like struggle. But it was uneasy, very uneasy, dealing with sober people around me. I saw God work in me. I was given peace. No matter how uneasy it was, I found peace in the first place. I found that comfort and the love around me. God really provided for us both, even with food, everything was provided. Also, the church really helped.
For me, it was my desire to have somebody like my sister, like around. Yeah. So one, it was an answered prayer. And two, it was just like I felt like God is with me and God is like working out things.
Beyond her struggles, Rachel is now keen on reuniting with her children, even as she focuses on her life in recovery.
The fact that now she's working, she's getting something. For me, I thank God for that far, and for her salvation.
And for this far I've come, I know God is capable of opening doors for our reunion. And so I've been trying to reach out to them, my son also, and his father. I try as much as, but it's not coming in as it should. But I know it's going to happen. But for my daughter, just recently, a miracle happened. Just the other day, the father to my daughter called me. Okay, he been calling, and we talked to the child, and we talked. The baby is like, I miss you so much, mommy. When are you coming to see me? She can talk, the last one. She's 5 years old, and I miss you very much. I miss you. That has been our conversation. But the other day, the baby, do you know what the child did? She took the phone After telling me how much she loves me and misses me, she took the phone to every member of the family. Talk to this one, it's TikTok, tunaonana. And I'm like, what? They are all positive. I think it's because they can see the transformation, or maybe it's the working of God.
Their brother is still out there, and the prayer is to one day connect with him as well. But for Virginia, it is a joy to be reunited with her family.
First of all, it was always my desire to be around a family member of mine, because all those years nimekaa bila like any contact with any family member. And so for me, I in my heart, I was really desiring this kind of connection. And when she reached out to me, I was excited, I was happy. However she was, I was still happy. I enjoyed the moment and everything was just so good.